Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon Gold with only normal types was fun and pretty simple, so let's follow that up with a harder solo run. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Emerald with a team of only one Relicanth. So Relicanth is an interesting one, not just because I don't know if I'm saying it right or not. It's stronger than the Pokemon that I normally do solo runs with, but it gets requested a lot, and I think it's just because it's kind of rare in Gen 3. We can talk about that later, though. It's a water and rock type with overall great stats, although they're really lopsided. Really low special attack means that all of our water moves are probably going to be pretty weak, but we have crazy high attack, defense, and health. Rock moves are absolutely the way to go. By level up, we get Rock Tomb at level 15, and although it'll do the job, it's only got 10 power points and 80 accuracy. The only other rock move we can learn is Ancient Power, so I could see low power points being a problem. At least we learn Rest, that'll be useful, maybe. Also, if we end up getting Rock Head as our ability, then Double Edge would be a really solid move. By TM, we can't learn any new rock moves other than Sandstorm. I figure I might get Earthquake just because it's strong and we have high attack, but I don't really know. I guess I could get Ice Beam just because it's good, but 45 special attack makes me think that we'd do better with rock moves anyway. I guess that's the challenge though. Strong Pokemon, but our moveset really isn't great. Like always, I'm writing this script as I go through with the challenge, so all this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. I'll win, but I'm really interested in seeing what parts I'll get stuck on. Grass types will be a nightmare, and I suspect that Wallace might actually be really difficult. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can only use Relicanth. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs, held items, and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So right off the bat, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Mudkip with Relicanth so that we can do the whole run with it. I picked to replace Mudkip so that our rival would have Trico, probably the hardest for us to fight. I named him after Gar, because he's the person I think of every time I see Relicanth, and he's hilarious, so why not? Our nature is hasty, so less defense and more speed. You know what? I kinda like that. We need more speed, and our defense is great anyway. I hope this doesn't make fighting types too difficult, though. We also have Rock Head as an ability, so no recoil damage. That's awesome, because the alternative is a speed boost in the rain, and I don't really care about that one. No recoil damage just means we'll get more use out of Double Edge than we would something like Return. This actually gives us something a little bit unique with our Pokemon that we get to enjoy. So early game travel is pretty simple since we have pretty great physical stats, but grass types are instantly dangerous. We have a double weakness to them, so even weak grass moves like Absorb have a really good chance of just knocking us out. Thankfully, we're typically faster than the Pokemon we've been fighting because their first form and us having a speed nature. I predict a very easy Rock Gym with how we're learning Water Gun early. Yeah, so the Rock Gym was of course easy, but Nosepass took forever to take down. Because we one-shot both Geodudes, she had every potion saved up for Nosepass. Plus, it's only Rock type, not Rock and Ground, so less of a type advantage for us. There's no way we could have lost that, though. Alright, that was an easy gym, but the next two could be a lot harder. We have the Fighting Gym and the Electric Gym, both types that we're weak against. Plus, fighting types resist rock moves, so we have to rely on Water Gun and our low special attack. I really doubt we'll win, but maybe if I clear out the beach of trainers for extra levels early, then we can do it? Nah, it's not even that close either. We can make it to Makahita most of the time because Meditite just fails Focus Punch every turn, but then we just take a Vital Throw and we're done. It's one of those moves that can't miss, and we're nowhere close to one-shotting the guy, so I think I'll have to try the Rival Fight first instead. So the Rival Fight took a few tries because we kept getting crit, but when we won, we didn't even drop into yellow health. Also, apparently I messed up making the ROM because she's got Kabuskin, but it's super effective against us anyway, and this is the only rival fight that's ever hard at all. So I guess for the difficulty of the run, this really doesn't matter. Is there a game in the entire series where your rival is more useless than an Emerald? Probably not. I'll go get a few more levels now that I can reach more trainers, then I'll try the Fire Gym again. Hey, that did the trick! Now that we have more health and more defense, Makahita thinks he has to use Bulk Up before he attacks. That lets us use Yawn and put him to sleep, then take him out. He still did tons of damage to us, but we won. It's pretty rare that we have to be this high a level for the gym, though. That's nothing compared to what the Electric Gym is going to be like. As you can see, I'm grinding. I don't think my effort values are maxed out, so I'm doing it the old school way. This terrible patch of grass that I've spent so many hours of my life in. The Electric Gym is a really hard gym in Emerald, and every time I try the fight, I lose pretty badly. I get the feeling we're going to need a lot of levels before we can win this one. The funny thing is, we probably get a long period of smooth sailing after that. The Fire Gym will be super easy since we quad resist them. We resist the normal gym as well, and then there's the Flying Gym where we have rock moves. Maybe Tropius could be an issue because of our grass weakness, but after this Electric Gym, we can have an easy time all the way until that brutal Psychic Gym. That might be wishful thinking though. Let's just see what happens. Okay, so at level 32, I tried a bunch of times thinking that maybe I could win this fight if I just didn't get paralyzed off of static, but it doesn't really matter. Thunderwave gets us against Magnetric, and both Magneton and Magnetric can individually take us down just by hitting Shockwave a few times. We don't hit nearly hard enough, and we can't last long enough. Maybe once we get strong enough to one-shot Magnetric, we could win? Level 35, and we are so close to the one-shot on Magnetric. I know that once we get that one-shot, we should be able to win. Magneton doesn't hurt us as hard as Magnetric does. I think we could actually survive it if it was a one-on-one. Maybe around level 37 or 38? So at level 37, I was still losing easily, but as soon as I hit level 38, we scored a one-shot on Magnetric and then a crit on Magneton to one-shot it as well. That was easy. Would have loved to have that earlier. That means that we're finally on the road, and I think we're gonna hit the easier part of the challenge now. So far, it's been a lot of grinding, but we have Maxie and the Fire Gym coming up, followed by the normal gym. So 3 trainers in a row that we resist, with 2 of them being types that we beat. That's gotta go well, right? Then we can get Surf for a water move upgrade after that. I'm feeling pretty good about this chunk of the run. So Maxie was super easy, and that's even with us having lowered accuracy from Sand Attack. We missed a ton, but they could hardly hurt us, so it didn't really matter. And of course, the Fire Gym right after was also super easy. We quad resisted all of her best moves. There was really nothing she could have done to stop us. I may as well just go straight to the normal gym. But on our way there, I took the Root Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Did you know that I genuinely elongate this challenge by like 10 minutes every time I do an Emerald challenge? Just because I have to go to Moville, switch my bike to the Mach bike, keep going up to the desert until the tower appears, try to successfully make it through the maze of pitfalls that I usually fall through like 5 times, and then get to the top just so I can record this little bit. And I do it fresh every time, because you'll see the border on the text box and you'll know if I actually just put old footage in. I waste my own time for this stupid gag. Well, the normal gym was easy, but it took absolute ages because Slacking spammed Yawn of all things. I also had to use Water Gun a lot, because I lost the first try to counter, but this time he wanted to use Yawn instead. Just constantly. Nothing on his team could really do any serious damage to us, they just really liked stalling us. Okay, so we're on the road again, and we have Surf now, so I'm feeling a lot stronger. We have a usually very easy rival fight next, but after that is the Flying Gym, and I'm iffy on it. We probably just sweep it with rock moves, but I'm worried that Tropius could survive and just one-shot us with Razor Leaf. It might need a crit to do that, though. I'm not sure. It's a high crit move, though, so it could happen. It's got potential to be a problem, but I don't think our next serious issue is going to be until the Psychic Gym. I'm really not looking forward to that one. I don't think I'm ever looking forward to that one. Okay, normally this is an easy rival fight, but I'm impressed by this one. They only managed to do exactly 1 damage to us. I'm not sure I've had that happen before. It's just such a specifically low amount of damage, you know? It's so rare that you take exactly 1 damage. You remember what I was saying before about the rival fight not really mattering in Emerald? And the Flying Gym right after was a sweep with Ancient Power, other than Skarmory, who just hardly hurt us at all. Well, I guess I was wrong to worry. So we're traveling, and there's a ton of traveling at this part of the game. I know Maxie will obviously be easy, but I'm worried about the Psychic Gym. We're a stronger Pokemon than usual, but still, we're talking about a 2-on-1 fight. Even if we're one-shotting them, the other one can just hit us. Claydol has Earthquake, Solrock has Solar Beam, and Xatu likes to set up Sunny Day for it in between spamming Calm Mind. If he doesn't just start by using Psychic, that is. There's a lot of ways that fight can go very, very wrong. I just need to see if I can make it work. Last Maxi fight, and I didn't even have full health going into the fight, and yet we won easily. I'm really happy it was easy too, since going all the way through the Megama hideout just to fight this guy again sucks every time. And if there's a Maxi fight I get stuck on, it's usually this one. Okay, so the first try at the Psychic Gym, we only made Xatu faint, but honestly, I can already see a path to victory here. With either a few more levels or very good Ancient Power luck, we could land 2 shots on some of this stuff with Surf, and that might be enough to get me a win. Solar Beam could still be a problem. If it hits, it's for sure a one-shot, but we'll see. I'll get a few levels and try again. So I tried a few times at level 55 and got this lucky one, where a crit took out Solrock early, but we never ended up winning because the Earthquake damage builds up too much, and Lunatone loves using Light Screen to totally shut us down. I need a few more levels, but at least we have rare candies at this point. I'm even using Mystic Water to power up Surf. This is just a brutal fight. Okay, it wasn't until all the way at level 60, but we finally started being able to really overpower them with Surf. Even without the crit, Solrock wastes his first turn charging Solar Beam, so we're finally strong enough to 2-shot Claydol, so he doesn't get so many Earthquakes in. Once it's down to just us and Lunatone, we one-shot him for the win. Alright, that means that we gotta travel more. Well, I'm traveling. You want to know how you're supposed to catch a Relicanth and Emerald? So it's not the most annoying Pokemon in the game to get. That's probably Feebas, but Relicanth is for sure an easy one to miss. You can only find it in the seaweed and a couple of underwater routes with a 5% encounter rate, so a 1 in 20 chance. Now, considering that there is no required trainer fight with a Relicanth in the game, and it's so hard to find in the wild, it's entirely possible that you're not even going to have a Relicanth in your Pokédex by the time you beat the game, and thus you may just never run into it. You spend very little time on the routes it appears on, and it's such a low encounter rate that most casual players probably did not bump into one in the wild. Like, I didn't even know this one existed when I originally played Emerald back when it was new, until after I beat the game. In fact, I beat Sapphire when it was new, and I still don't think I knew about this Pokemon until I beat Emerald, which didn't come out till later. I only ever saw the first season of the TV show as a kid, and a couple of the movies, so I didn't have the luxury of a cartoon to introduce the new Pokemon to me. I just found them as I played, or as friends who were playing the game would show me. I'd actually love to hear if you guys have any stories about Pokemon that you didn't know were in the game until after you beat it. I'm sure there's loads of Pokemon that are easy to just completely miss. What ones did you guys miss on the first time? And while you type that, I have some bosses to fight. Now, Archie puts up more of a fight than Maxie ever did, but it's just because Mightyena uses Swagger, so we hit ourselves a lot. His actual team was no threat at all. Next is the Water Gym, and I thought this one would be kind of close, but it ended up being really easy on the first try. Pretty much his whole team couldn't do any serious damage to us. I bet his Kingdra at the end could've, if he tried, but he used a double team, and we have double edge, so we just one-shot him before it could build up. I love how hard we hit with that. It's really fun, actually, having no recoil damage. Oh, and on my way to the Elite Four was Wally, but like usual, he was super easy. He had one Pokemon that hurt us, and it's just because I didn't think to use Surf to one-shot it on the first turn. I have to do a Wally team run sometime, right? I just don't know how Wally can be so useless with a team of genuinely good Pokemon. I've got to try his team sometime. There's no way we wouldn't be better with his Pokemon than he is. Now that we're at the Elite Four, let's take a look at our stats. Well, our health is awesome, and so is our attack and our defense, but our special defense is low enough that grass moves will still probably make short work of us. It's a bit daunting, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not strong enough to beat the whole thing yet, but I bet I could at least make it to Drake. Make your final guesses on if I can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Dark Trainer Sydney, and wow, I did not expect this to go so badly. Check it out. I know our grass weakness is pretty big, but Cacturne just uses Cotton Spores to destroy our speed, and then Needle Arm to very easily take us out. I mean, I guess I could learn Ice Beam, but with how much lower our special attack is than our regular attack, would it even do more than Double Edge? I think I just need to get stronger for Sydney. That's rare. So now we're level 68, and believe it or not, but the fight goes worse every single time now. Our defense is now so high that in 10 attempts, Mighty Anna just did Sand Attack on the first turn every single time. That means we start missing and don't make it nearly as far as we did 4 levels earlier. Man, are you kidding me? I might have to get to the point of one-shotting Mighty Anna just to win this fight. Yeah, that's about what I expected. At level 73, we get sand attacked and lose every time. At level 75, we can one-shot large chunks of his team, and the only damage we took was off of confusion. It routinely blows my mind how 1 or 2 levels can be the difference between losing quickly and making it look completely effortless. Second is Ghost Trainer Phoebe. This was actually an easy first try. I was worried that his Dusclops spamming Protect combined with the ability Pressure would just blow through most of our power points too early, but it actually wasn't too bad. We ended up getting an Ancient Power full stats boost pretty early in the fight, and although we probably didn't need the boost, it absolutely helped. Good thing I have a Max Elixir to use after the fight, because she really wrecked our power points. Third is Ice Trainer Glacia. This one was literally a no damage sweep. It might have just been because we got a full stats boost at the start of the fight, but we're super effective against her whole team, so it's possible that we would have swept her even without the boost. Fourth is Dragon Trainer Drake. This fight really surprised me. So Shelgon at the start was easy as always, but Flygon is where things were surprising. I tried Ancient Power, but it didn't do much, so we ate a lot of damage before I crit a Surf to take it down. I figured with all that damage we took that there's no way that we could make it till the end, but then I hit Ancient Power on Altaria that gave us a full stats boost. Because of that, we not only took it out, but we were able to easily take out Kingdra and even the Salamence that came out after. Yes, even with the attack drop from Intimidate. I fully believe that I would have lost that fight if not for the stats boost, and that was a first try. That was really, really lucky. Finally, the Pokemon champion Wallace. Right away, I hit Ancient Power on Wailord as he hits Water Spout. That does more damage the higher his health is, so it's a good thing that we did quite a bit of damage. The second Ancient Power not only knocked him out, but gave us a full stats boost. That's perfect. Now we lose that one stage of attack right away to Intimidate, but it's still great. Now we nearly one-shot Water Onix with Ancient Power, but he used Dragon Dance, and our second hit took him out. Whiscash only used Amnesia, so we took him out in 2 hits of Double Edge. Ludicolo took our last Ancient Power, but he hit us with a Giga Drain to take out tons of our health and heal him by a lot. Double Edge took him out right after, but we're pretty hurt. Second from last is Tentacruel, but he ended up being a one-shot with a Double Edge, and last was Melodic. We hit Double Edge to drop it to low health, we get hit by Surf to drop into red, he eats a berry to heal a bit, then we hit Double Edge to get the knockout and the win. With that victory, we get into the Hall of Fame and win the run, but you know it's not over yet. Gen 3 has a post-game fight with Steven Stone. Now, I'm very confident this is a winnable fight, although I could see Credilli being a big problem. Still, if we can just rare candy up forever until we win, then I'm pretty sure we could win. Probably even below level 100. We're really not a great type combo for him since he's mostly a Steel Trainer and we're weak to that, but I still think that we stand a chance. I went ahead and replaced Rock Tomb with Ice Beam since it's going to be good against Credilli. Plus, it's not like I was really using Rock Tomb anymore anyway. Wish me luck. So we get there at level 77 and you can already see the first issue. Skarmory usually opens with Toxic. It hits most of the time, and if it hits, then we just lose. I can't possibly beat his whole team in few enough moves that we don't just faint from Toxic, obviously. Honestly, the most reasonable solution is to level up enough that I can two-shot him with Surf, because somewhere along the way he'll probably switch to using something like Spikes as his opening move. That just seems to be how his Skarmory operates in a lot of these runs. So I tried a bunch at level 85, and now sometimes Skarmory uses Steel Wing instead. He actually missed this time, so we took him out at full health. Second was Claydol, who didn't hurt us, but did set up a light screen. That's no good. After that is Aggron, who was going for Solar Beam, but he was a two-shot, so it didn't hit us. But next is Credilli, and we did almost nothing with Ice Beam. Light Screen wore off, and we almost took him out with a critical Ice Beam on the next turn, but one Giga Drain nearly one-shot us and healed him so much that we couldn't take him out. Okay, I see how this is. I still need to be stronger, and this was with incredible luck. So at level 90, I try a bunch more times. The fight goes the exact same way every single time. Even when I can get Light Screen to end before Credilli comes out, it just doesn't use Ingrain now. If I have any damage at all, then he uses Giga Drain once and it's a one-shot. This is brutal. I think I really do need to be level 100 to stand a chance in here. Okay, level 95, Many tries in. So Claydol still uses Light Screen every time, of course, and the Egg Run fight goes basically the same every time, but Light Screen wore off by the time Credilli came out. Right away, Ice Beam did what looks like exactly half of his health and damage, but we got a freeze, so we didn't get hit back. A second hit took him out. Second from last is Metagross. Now we did less than half of his health and damage with Surf, as it did a massive chunk to us with Earthquake. It got us to just above red health when he ate a berry and we took him out with Surf. If it wasn't for that berry, I think he'd have used a full restore and we would have lost. Last is Armaldo, but he's just a one-shot with Surf. We won! That was actually really fun. Obviously, it was faster paced due to being a stronger Pokemon, but we still had a pretty hard time with some early game fights like usual, and had to grind more than average for the Electric Gym, which was kind of crazy. This would have been much harder if it was a game with more dangerous grass types. I could see this being brutal in Platinum. I probably wouldn't even win. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon Challenge will be up next week on Saturday like usual, with Pokemon Fire Red with only one Shuppet. Yeah, that's super weird, right? Like, you've never thought of using Shuppet in Fire Red of all places. I haven't either, that's why I wanted to try it. I have no idea what it's gonna be like. There isn't even a solo ghost type in Gen 1. What's gonna happen? I don't know. As always, I'm looking forward to your suggestions in the comments, in the challenge request section of my Discord channel, and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Outro time. So I gotta be quick, and I have to be quick for the weirdest reason. But I guess at least it gives me a topic to talk about for this outro. So I have to be quick, because it is currently 3:52 p.m. on a Saturday, which means that my Pokemon Challenge goes up in like 8 minutes. 7 minutes now. I have a Pokemon Challenge that goes up in 7 minutes, and I don't have it set to like premiere mode right now, because I like to have these things go up early on Twitter, right? Where I make it unlisted and I put the link on Twitter and everyone gets to see it early and it's a fun time. Problem. To do that, I have to have it unlisted. Now, once I set it for like a premiere, whether it be like a live premiere like stream kind of thing, or even if I'm just setting it to go live at a certain time, it will be private until then, which is unviewable even with the link. That means that whenever I do this like, here it is early thing, I have to manually be there to make it go live at 4, which is why sometimes it goes live just a little bit late. I'll like be deep in the recording session or in a voiceover, and I gotta just do it after, so it's a few minutes late. Normally, I'm not doing a voiceover on a Saturday, because that's usually my last work day of the work week, if I'm not working through Sunday, which I'm guilty of doing quite often. Yeah, so 6 minutes now. I need to be ready to make that video go live in 6 minutes. So I have so much editing to do. Obviously, I'm going to be editing while I make that go live. I'm not going to get this whole thing done in 5.5 minutes now. That's impossible, but I can get it done before the end of the day because I have made like 200 of these challenges or something now. Something like that. Yeah, it's got to be over 200 if you're counting the Bethesda challenges too. Oh man, I've made so many of these now. I'm pretty quick at editing it. I make the occasional mistake though. This is just one pair of eyes looking at everything, just me. So, you know, problems happen. But hey, when I put up these videos on Twitter early, then sometimes when I make an editing mistake, one of you guys will catch it and I'll have time to re-edit it and have that one be the one that goes live. So you guys help me make the show better, which I really appreciate. Makes it a lot easier to do this as a one-man show, you know? Anyway, I really got to get back to working on some stuff. Oh, real quick, people were asking why I don't do premieres so much anymore. There's been a theory for a long time that doing premieres hurts the initial, like, growth of the video. Normally, I don't really care about that kind of thing, and I still don't really care about growing, as I've been talking about for years now. But at the same time, with that algorithm change back in September, my challenge videos are getting shown to, like, half of my subscribers that it was being shown to before. I get messages from you guys all the time telling me that you didn't get notified of my updates for the last few months, and that you didn't realize I was still making videos until you went on my channel. My analytics tell me that's not like new people not finding the videos. It's just a thing of less of my own subscribers are being shown my videos. It's a bummer, and I have no control over that. That's just kind of how YouTube works. It's gonna have changes. Every once in a while, it's gonna do something that's not good for your channel and probably good for somebody else's channel. It sucks, but it's kind of the nature of the beast. It's just how YouTube works. So I've been trying the no premiere thing just to see if that helps at all, if that has any difference on this whole algorithm thing. And my answer is, I don't know. I can't really tell yet, to be honest. It's been a few months of doing no premiere, and I can't tell any kind of really standard rhyme or reason behind the ones that do better and the ones that do worse in terms of the post-premiere videos I've been putting up. So if you want my expert opinion, which is not not the end-all be-all, no YouTuber's opinion on this is the end-all be-all. We're all still just trying to figure out this stuff because YouTube doesn't tell you anything. But currently, right now, it doesn't seem like the lack of premieres are hurting anything, so I might just go back to premiering these challenge videos, because I thought that the premiere live chat was pretty fun. I know a lot of you guys thought that was pretty fun too. I always had a fun time hanging out in that with you, and I always felt bad when I couldn't make it, because sometimes I'd just be way too busy with work. But it was a fun time, you know? It's fun hanging out in the chat for that. Even if half the time the chat just explodes with, "How didn't you think of doing this thing?" And it's like, well, because I'm not that good at Pokemon, man, and sometimes I forget. So, I don't miss necessarily getting berated for that stuff all the time, but at the same time, it was mostly a fun time, and I probably will go back to doing some of those premieres again. Maybe I should run the experiment longer. I don't know. What I do know is it's 2.5 minutes until I need to tell that video to go live, so I'm just gonna go do it now. You guys get the video a few minutes early, I guess. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.